Welcome to MMA Noise. I'm Mike Schrocker along with Michael Johnson fighting UFC 205, one of the most historic events in UFC history. And you're fighting Khabib Nurmagomedov. Very tough fight, but obviously you're a tough and game fighter. You weighed in this morning. How you feeling?
I feel good, man. I just got some food in me. I'm feeling nice and relaxed. Got the family out and everybody here to support me. So I just got to take care of business tomorrow night.
How was the weight cut?
It was great, man. My weight cuts have been incredible my last two fights. You know, I've been doing my camps about like 165. You know, I come in a fight week 7-8 pounds over. Easy
All right.
peasy.
Khabib's what, 23-0?
Something like that.
23-1 after tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
You know, what kind of an opponent? I mean, after 2 years out of competition, do you look at it in a different way when somebody's out that long?
No. You got to look at it the same way you look at any other fight. You know, I mean, he's a tough fighter. He's at the top of the division. He is undefeated. You know, you can't look past that. So, I've had long layoffs in the past, and I've came back and I've been on fire in my fights. You know, just because of the type of practices and trainings I get. So you don't know. So I'm going to this fight expecting the best Khabib, and I prepare for everything.
You know, when I look back on your career, there are some fights that I think you should have won and you didn't. And then there are fights that you've won recently that I thought maybe you would lose. What can you attribute to the switch in Michael Johnson? Did you see a sports psychiatrist? Because you always had the skill. It was always something in there, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. And no, I didn't see any sports psychologists or anything like that. I think it was more me having that time off after the Nate Diaz fight and really going about my life and understanding like what's important and what I need to do to be successful. And I can't get beat by these guys anymore. You know, I know my skill's better than anybody. It's just the mental game, and I just have to stay focused on everything, and that's what I plan on keep on doing.
Hey Ben, if you could make a pan around the room. I've been in a lot of fights with you. I've never seen your family with you.
Yeah.
So this is special, isn't it?
Of course. Yeah, it is. And it's incredible to have this support here with me. And it makes me relax. You know, it makes me feel good. It makes me no pressure on me. And I know that my true loved ones are here with me. And win or lose, they're always going to be on my side. And, you need that support.
Madison Square Garden, is that something special to you?
No, not really.
Good.
I know you don't like that answer.
I love that answer.
Yeah, okay.
I love that answer because that just
okay.
tells me it's another day in the office.
Exactly. I'm here to take care of business. And, I've done interviews, the past few days, and everybody's like, well, it's kind of special at Madison Square Garden, New York. I'm like, I'm here to take care of business. I'm here to get this win and get out of here. So I'm not getting caught up in the bright lights or anything like that.
A couple big fights on the card. Let's talk a little bit about what you might think might happen. Eddie Alvarez fighting Conor McGregor. I personally think Eddie's going to destroy him. What do you think?
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
Frankie Edgar versus Jeremy Stephens. What do you think?
That's a tough one to call.
It's a tough one to call.
It's a real tough one to call. I just see Jeremy getting him, catching him with something and finishing him. I kind of see that. And I know Frankie's hard to finish. Don't hate me, Frankie. Don't
hate me either, Frankie.
Yeah, but I just think Jeremy's. I think he's transformed his game. I think he's figured out what he needs to do to be successful, and something switched with him as well. So,
you think Miesha Tate's going to come back strong?
Yeah, I absolutely do think she's going to come back strong. She's always been the girl that I thought was at the top of the division in the women's.
Last night I interviewed Michael Bisping, and he's probably looking at the winner of Chris Weidman and Yoel. Who do you think's going to win that fight?
That's another tough one.
That's a tough one, really tough.
Into the zone, that's Yoel's nickname, and it's a tough one. If Chris Weidman shows up really dedicated and hungry back to get on this track, to get on that title, then I think he's really tough to beat. So I'm going to go with Chris in this one.
One thing that really surprises me, Michael, is the way Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, the way he fights with his hands down, sort of almost like a point fighter.
I mean, he's got some crazy power at 170.
But I thought the same thing about Hendricks and Stephen won.
See, I think he got Johnny at the end. He had a lot of hype going into
it.
Right. He's had a bunch of fire. Now he hasn't been the same Johnny since he's lost that title. So I kind of think, he got an easy Johnny Hendricks.
Well, I know that ATT and the Black Zillions are kind of like, you guys are kind of frenemies, but Robbie Lawler's, man, he's my boy.
Yeah, he is. I love watching him fight, and I did not expect what Willie did to him. But the wars that Robbie gets into, that's not beneficial.
Listen, I've known Robbie for as long as I've known you, maybe longer actually. And I remember one day I was in the airport in North Carolina, and I was like, man, there's Robbie Lawler and his manager at the time. And I was like, man, Robbie's got to be like 35 years old.
Yeah.
And then like 5 years later, it's like 28-year-old Robbie Lawler. I'm like, wait, what?
Exactly.
You're not even 30 years old yet? You got to be kidding me.
That fight game, man, it really weighs on you. And if these guys get into these wars, I mean, look at Vanderlei. I saw him out one night, and I'm a huge fan, but he was looking like he's like 50, and somebody told me he's just turning like 30 or something like that. I was like, what? That's craziness, bro.
Well, how do you stay so young? I know it's got to be
black don't crack. You know that black don't crack.
It's got to be the entourage over here.
Of course, I got a beautiful mother, sister, everybody, man. I'm truly blessed to have incredibly good-looking genes. You know, I don't want to toot our own horns, but you know, it's good. Plus, I try not to get hit that much in my fights. You know,
we've seen the rise of Conor McGregor. We've seen his mouth to cash a lot of checks for him. So, is there a fine line between marketing yourself and also letting your fists do the talking?
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. You can't let yourself go and start talking all this trash talk, and then you go and you put all this pressure on yourself and you don't perform. You know, I tried the trash talking routine once before the Miles Jury fight. I got my ass whooped for 3 rounds. You know, so I'm like, let me lay off that and just I'll talk afterwards. You know, I'll let.
But
my
that was
fist do the
that was
talking.
one of the fights I was talking about earlier when you should have won.
Yeah, exactly.
And you didn't, and I was like, what's going on with Michael?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom! It's like, damn, he's back.
Yeah, and that was that fight. You know, I was into some different things. You know, I was trying to
white chicks, right?
There's one over there. Right?
Just kidding, Anita.
Yeah, those white chicks, right? White chicks and pork. I can give up the pork, but god damn it, those white women, how you doing?
So listen, Khabib is he's a tough kid. He's got a lot to prove this fight. What do you got to say to that?
Come try to prove it. You know, that's exactly what I say to it. You know, he's putting a lot of pressure on himself. You know, not by only calling for a title shot after our fight, hasn't even happened yet. You know, so how are you gonna call that and just expecting me to beat me? You know, just like that. No, I think he respects me, but at the same time, he's underestimating me a lot.
Follow me. UFC 205 tomorrow night.
Coming at you,
bitches.
I'm Michael the Menace Johnson, and you're watching MMA Noise. My main guy, Mike Straka.